it tickled too. They're like, "Are you okay?" Because I was like, I think they thought I was panting, and I was like, "It just really tickles." And they're like, "We've never had that response before." But like, I don't know, as they were like rubbing across the nipple or like where her hand was, I don't know. It was like it was tickling me. Hi, thanks for clicking on Simply Tanika. I am Tanika. If you are new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. Let's hang out a while. If you are returning, welcome back. What's up, fertility fam? We gotta do what? Let's get those babies, ladies. Drops fall and the beauty of it all. Good morning, fam. How are you? Today is Thursday. It is the 4th of April. I'm running late. It's not what you think. I'm headed off to my biopsy, and I didn't have the right address. There was one address on the paper. A lady called yesterday to make sure I hadn't had any aspirin or blood thinners in the last 7 days, and she said, "Oh, I'm calling from Columbus Circle." I couldn't get her on the phone yesterday, so I finally got someone on the phone this morning to confirm that I'm going to Columbus Circle. I'm actually going where it's 1790 Broadway, which is the same office as Columbia, my old RE. I thought I was going to 77th, which is across the park. It was East 77th. So anyway, I'm here. I'm getting on the express. I will say I got a note from Dr. O yesterday at the new RE. And one, I got it in the portal, which is exciting. It's the first time I've had patient communication in a portal. Didn't know what I was missing. But he sent, the radiologist sent over the mammogram results, but not the sonogram results. So he wanted to have the ultrasound results. He wanted to have an ultrasound done. So I sent a note in the portal saying it was already done. I'll have it sent over. Getting a biopsy tomorrow. Holding for the train. I told him I was getting a biopsy tomorrow, so he just said, send him the results. But his original note was he sent me doctor's orders for an ultrasound because he said the results were inconclusive. So I liked that he was on the same page with my OBGYN and wanted further information. He just didn't know that I already had the ultrasound, but it just helps things line up. And his note was really nice, like it's nothing to worry about, it's just a precaution. Your mammogram came back inconclusive, so I liked that. At any rate, I'm rambling. I'm nervous. I haven't had any aspirin or blood thinners. I believe I'm going to be awake for this. I'm hoping it's just a punch out, which I had done before, I feel like 2005, 2006, like immediately before after my kidney surgery. So anyway, that's my story. How are you guys doing? I hope all is well, and I'll talk to you guys when we get to the radiology. Does this look familiar? I'm here at 1790. It's 15 after, so I'm like 15 minutes late. Alright, fam, so I'm here. I'm finally in the bath. There's confusion over which biopsy, so if you're ever having a biopsy, make sure your doctor explains which one. It's right breast, and there's a mass or something. Anyway, I'm here. I've been told to get undressed from the waist up. Put on this lovely gown. So I've done that, and then I gotta go sit out and wait for the tech to call me. Hopefully it'll be quick. But I've been here an hour and a half so far. Alright, just met with a very nice young lady, went over all my consents. I'm gonna have an incision and a steri strip and some other stuff. I have to wear a bra tonight, can't take a shower for 2 days, or at least not get the biopsy area wet. So yeah. It's going to be a guided biopsy, so they'll do an ultrasound and the removal of the tissue. Doesn't sound like it'll be too intense. I'm not getting any stitches. It'll be a steri strip, so that's good. And yeah, I'm going home with ice packs. I'll leave here with an ice pack. She said there'll be slight discomfort after the lidocaine wears off. And I'll have an ice pack for at work, and then I'll have one for tonight. And she said expect like minor pain, discomfort, and bruising. If anything else happens, then call the referring physician or go to the emergency room, but very extreme. So, moving right along. Right, so I'm back in the room. It is, can you see me? It is 11:08 now, so we're on almost 2 hours. We just did an ultrasound turns out I'm getting a biopsy on the left and the right breast. So there's a mass on the right side that's 2 centimeters, and there is a mass on the left side that's 3 centimeters. And I had to double check because it's not millimeters, it's centimeters. So I don't know. I had nothing last year. I just had a mammogram last year in March of 2018. So hopefully it's nothing. I was not expecting to have 2 boobs that were out of commission, but we're almost done. I'm still here. The surgeon has come in. She doesn't want to do the procedure. She said that I should have just come back for another ultrasound, which we went through this in making the appointment, and Dr. Ramirez called and explained about the IVF, and now this woman is like, well, I looked at them again and they're just cysts, and she seems really angry. But anyway, I said, it's fine if you can get the doctor to sign off and say that I'm okay to move ahead based on you saying that they're just cysts and they don't need a biopsy. Because now I've got the OBGYN and the RE asking for more information because what they provided previously said inconclusive. So I'm a little frustrated. Obviously, if I don't have to have the biopsy, that's great. But I just like her whole attitude. She came in here, was like, this is ridiculous. I don't know why they scheduled you for a biopsy. And I was like, whoa. I mean, obviously, can you guys see me that way? I had, let me lay back down. I had nothing last year at the mammogram. And then I went through a round of IVF with high hormonal injections, synthetic, and then I have these masses, and so of course they're concerned because they're talking about putting me through at least 2 more rounds of IVF to do this egg banking. And so if there's an issue, we have to figure it out now, because then if we do that and there is cancer and I'm pregnant, they can't do anything. And so it just is like, can we just everybody play well together so that I can get my baby? That's all I'm asking. Like, I get it. You have this protocol. Let's just check all the boxes. So I'm waiting. She's trying to get Dr. Ramirez on the phone. She didn't want to call the RE because the RE wasn't the referring physician. But Ramirez knows my medical history. So hopefully we'll be on the road to something soon. We're all done. There you can see some of the masses that they have. I could have like this big dramatic YouTuber moment about everything that's happened because it's 1:42 right now, but I'm not. It's over. It's done. We're gonna move forward. There was just a lot of miscommunication. So finally, they got a hold of my doctor, who this surgeon called the doctor. Doctor called back twice. They couldn't find the doctor or didn't call her or whatever. So then this surgeon was yelling at them out in the hallway. So when she came in, I was like, you seem agitated. I'm going to need you to calm down. I didn't say I need you to calm down, but I was like, you seem upset. And she was like, I'm not upset with you. It's the staff. I was like, okay, well, let's all just... And then we made a joke of it and moved on. So it ended up only biopsy on the right side. Very tiny thing. And now I have titanium in my breasts as a marker for where they were. So I guess they'll find it on future ultrasounds, but all done. Now they're going to have to rescan something because something to do with insurance and coding, I'm not sure. Just so they don't mistake it and think I have to come back again, basically. And also something for billing, but mainly for codes. And I guess if you have a certain code and a certain scan and it looks like a part of it might be inconclusive. So the 2 centimeter and 3 centimeter, they're going to rescan. 2 centimeter on the right, 3 centimeter on the left. They're going to rescan that and put in a separate code and mark that as benign. And then the right that she just biopsied will be in a separate biopsy code, and then pending the results, we'll have the answer. So anyway, it's almost over. I've missed 2 meetings at work, and, whatever. One step closer to IVF. But it didn't hurt. There was a lot of pressure. They did lidocaine. It's going to hurt tomorrow, though, because I could feel, like, her moving around, and she, like, leaned into it because I have really dense breasts. And apparently breasts are very fibrous, so she had to punch me twice. The first time she couldn't get around this fibrous part, so she tried, and that's where she was putting all her weight on me, and she couldn't, and she was worried about puncturing, so she had to come out and do another one, another insertion, more lidocaine. But Yeah. Hopefully you guys can see me. I wasn't moving, but yeah, more lidocaines I can punch. It's gonna be sore tomorrow. I have ice pack on there now. Just there. And I haven't looked at, I don't know. It was still bleeding, so we're waiting for it to stop bleeding. And then I've got to do ice pack on and off for 30 minutes for the rest of the day. So that's going to be interesting at work. But I'm probably not going to get there till 2:30, so it won't be that complicated. And then sleeping abroad tonight, no shower for 2 days. I might just work from home tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, other than that, uneventful. And I'm just waiting for her to come back and do the second scan. Gotta love it. Alright fam, I'm all done. It is 2:30. I'm about to get changed. So there is, can you guys see that? Where my incision was at the top there. And I just had the mammogram to confirm they could see the titanium chip, and that's it. And then we wait a week to get the results. So I'm gonna get dressed and get back to work, and I'll talk to you guys later. Or not get back to work, get to work. I haven't been there all day. Hey fam, alright, I've made it home. I have an ice pack still in here on my boob. This is the last one from the doctor's office. And then since I'm home, I just put the other one in the freezer. I still have my little teething rings from when I did my IVF, so I'll use that until the other one freezes. But 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off with the ice pack. And then I took 2 Tylenol earlier. They said 2 Tylenol every 4 hours. So I was just talking to Verkosha from Lifelong Commitment with the Alexanders about the experience, because so I went in, I got there at 9:15. I didn't walk out till 2:30, and a lot of it was waiting on all the doctors to have a conversation, and probably a war of attrition. Like, I think they wanted me to leave or to just like give up and say I would come back. But I was like, I'm here, we're gonna get it done. And that's why earlier I was like, I could tell this like big, long, dramatic story and be like, I'm offended. But I'm not, because I got what I needed. And I think that's the focus of the end of the day. And I originally was like annoyed with the surgeon. And we had a little bit of words, and then I was like, you seem like you're really upset. And so then she like took a deep breath and she was like, I'm not upset with you. I'm upset with the staff. Like, your doctor called back twice and they couldn't find me. And that doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm right here. This, it's X amount of square feet. So we all had a laugh, and then we kind of like got back to the business of what was going on. But the surgeon did not want to do a biopsy today. She wanted to do a live scan. However, the way they had written the paperwork, according to the tech, it didn't indicate that. It said biopsy, live scan, some other things. Long story short, when she told me that, I said, I'm fine with that as long as the OBGYN, who referred me, is okay with that, because she's still got to sign the fitness of pregnancy letter along with my general practitioner. And as long as the RE is okay with that, knowing what I know, right? Because she doesn't know my full medical history. She doesn't know that I just went through IVF in November. She doesn't know that I'm about to do egg banking and go through multiple rounds of these synthetic hormones. So that was what the concern was on the doctor's side, like on my treating physician's side, because I had a mammogram in March and it was fine. Now, according to this, like, I had a mammogram and a scan. So I always have mammogram and scan since I was 40. I think from like 35 to 40, I didn't. But since I was 40, so 8 years now, I've had a mammogram and scan. So it was fine last year. This year, it looks like the Milky Way, the sonogram, the ultrasound. So that's a problem, because what's changed? I had the IVF meds. And according to my OBGYN, as we age, our chances of breast cancer and ovarian cancer increase. When we're younger, like early 40s, late 30s, you have a higher risk of cervical cancer. I'm beyond that. So everybody just wanted to make sure that I was safe at the end of the day, including the surgeon, because she said, I don't want to have to like perform this surgery, like digging into your breast, unless it's absolutely necessary. So everyone wanted to make sure I was okay. And that's what I had to remember at the end of it. But I also knew what my goal was in being okay, what okay looked like for me. And so just like driving toward that. And I think having like the moment with the surgeon and being like, you seem upset, and not being like super aggressive, because I can do that, helped it all have levity, right? If that makes sense. Yeah, so it was fine. We got it all done. Nobody was like angry at the end of the day. I got what I needed. I get the results back in a week. I think they said the doctor gets the results back. Like Dr. Ramirez, my OBGYN, will get it back in a week. And then 3 days after that, it will be available in the portal to me. Dr. Ramirez's office is really good about, like, they get the results. She looks at it that day. They email out the results and her commentary the next day. And then they leave the option if you want to come in and talk to her about it. So yeah, that was kind of that. I'm glad that's over with. One step closer to my babies. And yeah, there's not too much pain. Like I said, it's a little bit sore. I know it's going to bruise tomorrow, but it didn't hurt. I still had the lidocaine on, or the lidocaine was still like pulsing through my system when I had the second mammogram. Oh, it was nice because she said, is there a possibility that you might be pregnant? Which I think is lovely because I'm old. Who's going to ask that? And I was like, actually, yes, because I think I'm like 8 DPO now. Long story, another video. But so she performed the mammogram because they wanted to confirm that the titanium was visible, right? But she gave me this, I don't know, what is it, like an iron skirt, like those x-ray protectors, like when you go to the dentist. But she gave me one for my thyroid and one for my abdomen. And then we just leaned in and did my breast. So there's obviously still a risk if I am pregnant, but I thought that was nice that she took these extra precautions. And there were so many people in this office who look like me. I was like, oh, this is like Wakanda forever in here, which was nice. All women, all very nurturing. From the woman who took me back for me to get undressed, who I think her name was Deshawn. There was another tech who came out and like went over all of my aftercare paperwork. And she was the one who was asking me if I had aspirin or vitamin E. Because when the woman called yesterday, she said, make sure you haven't had any aspirin. If you've had, we have to reschedule. I didn't even think about the vitamin E. And this tech was very thorough. I was like, I did have it on Sunday. So I thought like that was going to delay it. Which then, you know, worry goes in your head because as I was waiting and waiting, I was like, maybe that has something to do with it. And then they finally took me back and they're like, oh no, that's nothing. So I can't remember her name, but then we talked about hair and she showed me pictures of her nieces and nephews. I showed her pictures of Cheyenne. Then my sonographer was also from Wakanda and she was training someone and she was like really, that tech was really nice and very detailed. And she was the one explaining like, you have a lot of different masses. And when she originally did it, she was looking at the 2 millimeter on the right, 3 millimeter on the left and said, that's probably what we're going to biopsy. It ended up not being it. There's a lot of other little ones that were deeper in. So the ones that we got were like way down in there. Like this doctor is like putting all her weight on me, pushing in. My head's over here, arm is over here. I was trying not to look. And then I don't know why I glanced down and I saw like this blood pouring down. I was like, okay, don't look again. But, it tickled too. They were like, are you okay? Because I was like, I think they thought I was panting and I was like, it just really tickles. And they're like, we've never had that response before. But like, I don't know, as they were like rubbing across the nipple or like where her hand was, I don't know. It was like, it was tickling me. So, I mean, there's lidocaine, you can feel pressure and tugging, but there's like the part of my skin that I could feel, it was just like, it was tickling me. It was like, woohoo. But I mean, she was very gentle. There was just like a lot of pressure. And then she was like, let's take a break. And she was like, girl, you got me sweating. Well, she didn't say girl, but she was like, you got me sweating. I was like, I'm sweating too. I thought it was the room. But yeah, she had to put in some work. And then she couldn't get it from that angle. I thought she pulled it all the way out at Acetec later. They didn't. But they did add more lidocaine because she was going to come in the same entryway at a different angle. There was something, what did she say? It was like fibrous. She couldn't get through it. And she was like, she put her weight on it and she was like, the only way would be like, it could be really, really wrong. Like it could go really, really wrong if I put the amount of pressure more than what I'm putting on there. So she went in and came around and the tech was saying on the scan, like, no, that's pretty solid. So that was that. But everybody was nice. The doctor, the surgeon was nice. Everybody was super nice. Yeah. So we just wait, you know, we just wait. I am much calmer this time around in the journey. Like I know I have a list of things to get through and I'm very focused on the end game. So I'm not as anxious. So I think that helped as well today. I wasn't anxious. I'm not even anxious about like the results of the biopsy, quite honestly. I just had a scan last year. If there's anything, we've caught it early. It's most likely benign. If it's not, we've caught it really, really early. Like, we didn't feel it on any of the manual exams. Both the OBGYN did one when I went in for my annual with her, and when I went into my GP like 4 or 5 days later, she did one as well for my physical, and there was nothing. I would say I do them on a regular basis. I don't. I should do them more frequently, but I should. I'm not going to make an excuse for that. So, because I think it was a Monday or a Tuesday, I went in for I think they were a week apart. OBGYN did one on a Tuesday, and I think, who's Dr. Mamaris, and I think Dr. Thornton, the GP, did it a week later. But, so there was nothing you could feel. They were tinier than the 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter ones, which the surgeon said those are cysts. So she was not worried about those. So I'm not even worried about that. So I think like the relaxation has been helping. The fact that I'm not like crazy YouTubing every day. I'm just like, I'm feeling very zen, and it changes the way I receive information. Quite frankly, it changes the way I receive information, which is good. So I'm at peace. Hopefully my calming spirit is calling the souls of my babies. So we'll see. Yes, I did say babies, because we're going to do what? Let's get those babies, ladies. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Baby dust to you all.